What if you're not inadequate or you're not failing, but you're just carrying too much? Hi, my name is Rachel. I am a licensed mental health therapist, certified in EMDR therapy, and an embodied freedom coach. I want to explore this thought of the amount of weight we carry as women of color, and high achieving women of color. So let's think about it. How many things throughout your day do you fix? Do you get done? Do you make happen? And I want us to think about it in general. So if you have a family, a significant other, maybe you're caretaking for parents, for grandparents, for children, maybe you're picking up and dropping off to school, to sports. Maybe you are the go-to one that all the family, all the friends come to. As we name these things, think of them as a brick you're holding on to. And so I want you to think about a bag or a purse or a pocketbook. And every time you think about the things you do, count it as a brick. And then I want you to toss that brick in your bag. Okay? And so if you're a mom, that's a brick. If you are auntie, living her best life, right? That's a brick, depending on how many nieces and nephews you may have. If you're living your best life and you're living in that auntie name, you're a great aunt, right? So you're not doing the bare minimum. So it's probably a few bricks, right? If you are a wife, that's a brick because you're taking care of your husband or spouse or partner, whatever you may call it. And so these are all bricks that you're carrying. So now let's add in career, right? So you may have a job, you may have a 9-to-5, or you may own your own business. And so how many bricks does that come along with, right? And so not only do you have the bricks that we're adding to your bag, let's add the negative beliefs that come along with the bricks. So because I have so many bricks and I feel exhausted, I feel like I can't add another thing, right? I now also may feel like a failure. I may now also feel inadequate. I may now also feel like I'm not doing it right. Because maybe before I was doing it with no problem, no sweat off my back. But now it feels exhausting. It feels depleting, right? And so add those negative beliefs as bricks to your bag, right? And so now we probably have about 10, 11, and think about how long you would be able to carry this bag of bricks before it starts to impact you. Let's just really think about that. So a bag of bricks that you are carrying, how long have you been carrying? Even if you're doing amazing things, does that amazing thing take away time that you have for yourself? Does that amazing thing take away time that you give back to yourself? Does that amazing thing limit the amount of things you can do for self? So even if it's amazing and you enjoy it and part of you identifies with who you are because of what you do for others, it's still a brick because it's still another thing you have to do or you are doing. This isn't a YouTube channel about fixing you or anyone else because you're not broken, right? It's just you have a lot on your plate. And so I don't know if anybody has ever said out loud, you have a lot on your plate. And this is why you are feeling exhausted, depleted, burnt out, like a failure maybe. You're doing all the things for everybody. And if you are a high achieving woman of color, then I know that you are doing 10 times what others expect of you because that's naturally who you are. And so this 10 times is adding to the overload, to the burnout. And so let's just look at it, right? And so once you identify those bricks, we don't have to do anything with it. You can keep them there. But just acknowledging that it's not me, it's not you. Well, not all of it, okay? Maybe some of it, but most of it is not you. It is the amount of things you have on your plate. And so you've just been surviving in systems that were never designed with your freedom in mind. I'm going to say that again. You've been surviving in systems that were never designed with your freedom in mind. And so these systems that you have created, or that have been created because of who you are, they're thriving, right? And why wouldn't they be? With someone like you on their team, someone like you to depend on. Why wouldn't they thrive? Why wouldn't life be so much better for them because you're in it? But what about you? What about your life? And I don't mean external, right? So you may have the cars, the house, the friends, the trips, and we don't want to take that for granted, because if that is your love language, amazing. But what about internal? Are you silently depleted? Are you silently, internally saying, I know there's so much more for me? Are you silently saying, I can't do another thing for another person? Is that going on internally? Because if so, then these are the bricks that we need to look at. How much we give out before we put back into self. And so nobody's going to tell you that, because they're benefiting, right? And it may be implied, and it may not be malicious on the environment's part, the individuals around you. It may not be malicious on their part. But societal messages also tie into that, right? As women of color, as Black women, we have to do all the things for everybody, silently, without asking for help, without being authentic. That is most of the messaging. And so I want to impart to you a freedom, an internal freedom, and embodied freedom. And so when it's internal, when it's embodied, nobody can take it away. And so noticing those bricks, looking at those bricks, and deciding what to do with the ones that no longer align with you. Maybe they aligned 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, because that's how you needed to show up at that job. That's how you needed to show up in that relationship. But does it still align today? And just looking at that. So just ask yourself that. Having a moment, everything looking successful externally, but internally, what is it looking like inside? I just want you to go with that and notice that when it's internal, it can never, ever be taken away. And embodied freedom comes from within. Have a great day. No matter what, no matter who.